Well, welcome to our fourth soundstage, which you've already heard Thrice perform. We've got Dustin, Pepe, and I can never remember which. Riley is right there, and Ed is there. And this is something we've been trying out. This is the first time we've had an audience for one of these, and to do this interview. And it's what you've just seen. It's to try to make it as bare bones as possible. That it's like performing in their living room, and you got to sit in and watch it. It's really cool, I got to say. And we have several questions. I'm not really going to be, well, I have one question to start off with as an interviewer. And it's kind of basic. But what is the difference between the first two volumes and the second volumes? And did it make sense to separate them the way you have?
Like that? I think there's more of a difference between all four of them separately than there's like between the halves. Yeah, between the halves. I don't know. We debated how to release it, whether it be all together or all separately, or and then once we decided on 2 and 2, which ones went best together. And so I don't know if there was a right way to do it. We just felt like all 24 at once was going to be a little overwhelming, like in lieu of, or in the way.
24 songs.
Sorry, it's songs.
No,
there are 22 more EPs.
Yeah. But I don't know, the Tom Waits triple disc had just come out, and it was 54 songs, 3 hours, and I was just like, I love Tom Waits, but I you can't keep your head around it listening to it all at once, and so it's a little overwhelming. Like I almost would have rather we split up, 3 months apart at a time or something. But so that was kind of one of the spurs to break it up so that people could really have time to appreciate it and then hopefully gain a better understanding of it as a whole, since we'd had a year to sit with all this stuff and really wrap our heads around it.
Well, lots of people have asked about musical inspirations. Lots of people asked about sort of this question. It's kind of a weird one to start with, but I've noticed many of your songs have biblical references. Other people mention C.S. Lewis, The Mask of the Red Death, lots of different literary references, and I was wondering what sort of religious background any of you have, where most of your inspiration is from. That question came up a lot, and I'm sure you get it a lot, and I think it might actually be a pretty hard question to answer.
I think, since I write the lyrics, most of that's going to come down to where my roots are and things that I believe in. I'm a Christian. The band's not a Christian band. We've never wanted to be that. Not all of us are Christians, and I've always had a kind of weird taste in my mouth from that. Anyway, this exclusive subculture that's not part of the rest of the world, and usually just a bad copy of the rest of it. Anyway, so I try to I don't try to write with any purpose. I just whatever comes out, but I tend to be a person that struggles with the bigger questions of life, meaning, and search for truth kind of stuff. So I think that's always been a pervasive subject. But I try to write lyrics in a way that I think everyone can get something out of them.
What is inspiring you these days? What inspired this whole set of the 2 albums?
I think the thing that makes us is that we're 4 very different people musically, and the stuff that we're drawn to is all really different. There's definitely a core of bands that we all listen to and we all love, but
when we started, it was we all listened to a lot of the same things.
Yeah,
and it's really spread.
And now it's there's a small core of bands that we all appreciate, and then you dig through our iPod playlist, and everything goes in different directions. And since everybody in the band writes and brings pieces of music to the table, you're getting these ideas from a bunch of different influences, and then what we try to do as a band is just combine those and turn it into whatever it is that we do, I guess.
I think we could probably go through each EP and pinpoint certain bands that we definitely see as being important.
Or were listening to at the time when you were writing so and so part. I definitely think when you're writing, whether you know it or not, you're drawing directly from bands that you're listening to at that time. And I know for sure a lot of the stuff that I wrote for this.
Well, who's the one band or artist that just all of you agree on? That's got that. That's the one thing that, if there is even one.
It's definitely Radiohead. I'd say just
Radiohead or the Beatles.
yeah, but that's just
That's right. The increasing trend of DIY releases from former major label acts. Do you guys see yourselves going that route, even more so than you did for Alchemy Index? Do you foresee digital releases a la Radiohead and Nine Inch Nails?
It's definitely an appealing idea. The thing that Nine Inch Nails and Radiohead have going for them is that they're massive touring bands and they have platinum records and much bigger fan bases than we do, so it's a little bit easier to say, here's a free record, or we'll charge you whatever you want to pay.
right.
But we're definitely trying to think of ways to get our music out there rather than the traditional, CD format.
I think one of the direction things could go and be really cool is that you find new ways of putting music out yourselves, cutting out a lot of the middlemen, and thereby, you're saving